Hello, welcome. Today we're going to focus on vocabulary and intonation. We already practiced the pronunciation for these words, so now we'll look at the definitions and the meaning. But to find out our definitions, we're going to use two different questions. Our first one, the open-ended question. And this begins with words like what, why, when, where, and how. And at the end of this, the intonation for this question is we go down. So the open-ended question goes down at the end. And this is where our vocabulary word will be at the end of this sentence. So let's practice. For example, Rachel, what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? So you hear how it goes down right at the end. Our next question we'll be using today is the yes or no question. This starts with words like do, can, should, and the answer is simply yes or no. This question, we just gradually go up. Rachel, do you know the meaning of this? Do you know the meaning of this? All right, now that we have our questions and our intonation, now we'll use these questions to find out the definitions on our next few pages. So our first word, blue. This is the past tense of the word blow. For example, I blow a bubble. If you chew gum, I blow a bubble. Yesterday, I blew a bubble, the past tense. Next word, bloom. This is describing a flower. So when a flower opens, the flower blooms. So the flower, when it opens, it blooms. Next one, blue. This is a color. For example, the sky is blue. The color blue. Boom. This describes a sound. For example, the thunder goes boom. So it means it's really loud, a very strong sound. Boots. These are similar to shoes. We wear them on our feet, but they're a little bit bigger. They're maybe taller. You wear boots when you hike a mountain. You wear boots when you walk in the snow. Broom. This is a noun and a verb. So the noun is something we use that has a long handle, and then at the bottom has little like hairs or bristles, and you use it to clean your house or to clean outside on your patio. And the action of doing this is called broom. I broom the walkway. I broom the steps. So you're sweeping, you're cleaning using the tool broom. Chew. This is when you eat food. You chew. Chew. You can chew gum also. So it means when you open and close your mouth. Choose. This is when you select something out of many different things. So one example, if you're at the store, you have many options of fruit. I choose apples. So you select, you pick. I choose bananas. That is what you decide, what you want. So it means you pick out of many different things. Choose. Cool. One definition is when you feel cold. Maybe the air is cool. That's how you would describe the air. It feels a little cold. The air is cool. Also, this is a slang word that is used very, very often in English. One could be to describe a person. If someone you really like and they do really fun things, they are cool. Or that show is really cool. It means you like that TV show or movie. So it's used for many different things, maybe things that you like. Next, crew. This describes a group of people that work for the same thing. For example, an airplane crew. So all the people that work on the airplane are working together. The pilot, the ones who help you with your drinks, they're all called the crew. They all work together. Do. This is when in the morning you wake up and sometimes there's little tiny water droplets on the plants because overnight the temperature changed. So there's water that's on the grass or the plants. That is called dew. Our next word, same pronunciation, do. This is a verb in action. Many of you probably have heard of this. It means to accomplish something. It's an action. I do the dishes. I do my homework. So it means that we are actually participating in that action. Doom. This is something that will happen to you if you do bad things, similar to the word fate. For example, the little boy didn't do his homework. He is doomed. It means something bad is going to happen because he didn't do his homework. Maybe the teacher will give him a bad grade. He is doomed. Next one, due. Due. This describes a date that something has to be paid or finished. For example, in the mail, you get an electric bill. You have to pay the electricity that you used. And on that bill, it says when it is due. It's a date that you have to pay the money. That is a due date. Flew. This is the past tense of fly. So today I fly in a plane. Yesterday I flew in a plane. The next word, same pronunciation, flu. This is when you're very, very sick. Maybe you have a fever and your body hurts. It's short for the word influenza. Influenza. So every year there's a different flu, and sometimes you can go to the doctor and get a shot for the flu. Food. This is simply things that we eat, we put in our mouth. Food. We like to eat lots of food. Fool. This describes a person that doesn't make very good decisions. For example, if they start to steal and take money from other people, not very smart. They are a fool. Fruit. This is something we eat. And it's the opposite of vegetables, fruit and vegetables. So fruit is like banana, apple, papaya, pineapple. Those are kinds of fruit. Glue. This is a noun and a verb. So glue, if you have two pieces of paper, you put glue in the middle and they stick together. You can't get it apart. And that's also the verb. I glue the pieces of paper together so they stick. You can't get them apart. Google. Many of you know this. This is what we use on the internet to search, to do research, or find information on different topics. Goose. This is an animal. You may think of a duck. A duck goes quack, quack. A goose is bigger than a duck, and they have a really long neck, and they like to swim in the water. Grew. This is the past tense of the word grow. So I grow vegetables in my garden. Last year, I grew vegetables in my garden, the past tense. Group. This is when you have many things in one place. So I want to be part of that group. So that means there's many people and I want to be with them. Group. So lots of people. Hoop. This is something that's round. For example, many women like to wear earrings in their ear and they're round. Those are hoops. Hoop earrings. Juice. This is usually made out of fruit. We talked about fruit, and it's the liquid that comes from that. So apple juice, papaya juice, orange juice. We like to drink it. June. This is a month. that we have in the year. April, May, June, July. We're in that month right now. New. This is the past tense of the word know. Know is to have information about something. I know your name. I knew your name. I knew his name. So that's the past tense of know. Loop. This is also something that's round. For example, I make a loop. So it's round. When we tie our shoes, we make a loop to tie our shoe. Loose. Loose. This is when something is not being held back. For example, a dog is running loose. So the dog is running everywhere and no one is controlling it. So loose. Nothing is holding it back. Book. This is something that we use to read. For example, this is a book. It has pages. A book. Brook. This is similar to a river or a stream where water is running. So the brook is just a little bit smaller, maybe just a little bit of water. It's not as big as a river. Bull. This is the male version of a cow. So sometimes they have horns. So a male cow. Bush. This is a plant. It's smaller than a tree. A tree is tall. A bush is smaller and it's round. It's round. And sometimes there is fruit that grows on a bush. For example, a blueberry bush or a blackberry bush. So sometimes it grows fruit. Last one, cook. This is when we make food. I like to cook dinner. So I like to make food that we eat for dinner. Or I am going to learn how to cook. I'm going to learn how to make pasta, rice, beans. So everything, that is cook. Crook, crook. This is a name for a person that takes things that's not theirs. So a crook, a robber, a thief. So they steal things that do not belong to them, that are others. So it's just another name, crook. Foot. This is part of our body. It's at the bottom of our legs, and we use it to walk. And our foot goes inside our shoe. So it's at the bottom of our legs. So foot is just one foot. Full. This means when something is all the way to the top. For example, my water bottle is not full. So full is up here. It's not full. It's not all the way to the top. Good. Good is the opposite of bad. So bad, good. Very good. Hood. One definition is something when we put over our head. When it's cold, we put our hood on our head. Or maybe when it's raining, we put our hood on our head. So it covers all of our head. Hoof. This is a part of an animal, like the foot of an animal, and it's very hard. A pig has a hoof. A horse has a hoof. So it's very hard feet of an animal. Our next one, hook. Hook. This is what you put your coat or your bag on when you come home. So you have the wall, and then there's a hook that comes out, and you can put your coat on the hook. Look. This is what we do with our eyes. I look at the computer. I look at you. So we use our eyes. It's an action. Looked. This is the past tense of the word look. Yesterday, I looked at the computer. Looks. This is for when it's he, she, or it. He looks,
She looks, it looks. Poor. This is when a person doesn't have a lot of money. If you have a lot of money, you're rich. If you don't have a lot of money, you are poor. Pull. This is an action. I pull my hair, or I pull the door. So it's an action. Pull, pull. Pulls. We just did the word pull. Pulls is for he, she, or it. He pulls, she pulls, it pulls. Push. Push is the opposite of pull. Push, push. So maybe you push open the door, or you push your friend. Pushed is the past tense. Yesterday, I pushed my friend. The past tense. Put. Put is an action, a verb, and it's when you set something in a location. So I put my hand on my head. So I set my hand on my head. Put, put. Shook. Shook is the past tense of the word shake. So shake, shake. Shook is the past tense. So it means when you go back and forth, or I shake my water. So shook, yesterday I shook my water. Stood. Stood is the past tense of the word stand. So when you stand, you're on your two legs or feet. You stand. So you're standing straight. Stood is the past. So today, I stand in the kitchen. Yesterday, I stood in the kitchen. Sure. This is when you know something is going to happen. You're positive it will happen. I am sure that you can learn English. I know you can do it. Took. Took is the past tense of the word take. So it's when you have something in your possession and you go to another location. So I take my water to the kitchen. Yesterday, I took my water to the kitchen. So you have an object and you put it somewhere else. You go to another place. Wolf. This is an animal that lives in the forest, and it's similar to a dog. It's a wild dog, a wolf. Many times in pictures, they'll show a wolf in front of the moon, and it comes out at nighttime. So it's like a dog. Wool. This is the fabric or material, maybe to make sweaters or coats, and it comes from sheep. So it comes from sheep. That's called wool. It's very good for the cold. Blow. This is what we do with our mouth. Blow. It could also be a bubble. I blow a bubble. Boast. This is an action, a verb, and it's when you tell people how great you are. For example, if you're really smart, you boast about how smart you are. You tell everyone about how smart and everything you know. Boat. This is something that goes in the water. Boat. So you have the ocean, and the boat is on top. You can go in a boat on the ocean. Bold. One definition of bold is to describe something that really catches our eye. It's very bright. For example, red is a bold color, so we see it really easily, and it stands out from the rest of the colors. Bolt. This is an instrument we use maybe for making furniture or in our house. So it's a straight piece, kind of like a screw. You can think of maybe Frankenstein. Frankenstein has bolts in the side of his head. Those are bolts. Bone. This is in our body, so it's the hard part of our bones. So these are my finger bones. We can break a bone. If you break your arm, you break a bone. Also, dogs like to eat bones. They really like bones to chew on. Both. This means two. For example, I want both pieces of pizza. So 2 pieces, both. Bowl. This is something we use in the kitchen. It's round. We might drink soup out of it or eat soup. Broke. This is the past tense of the word break. So if you have a stick, you broke the stick. So in the past, yesterday I broke the stick. Chose. This is the past tense of the word choose. We talked about this in the beginning of the lesson. So you pick something that you want. You have lots of different shoes. I want to choose the red shoes. So you pick which ones. Past tense would be chose. Yesterday, I chose the red shoes. Close or close? Let's do close. Close describes distance. So far away, close, close. So far, close. Close. This is an action. It means to, we previously talked about the word shut or close. So if we have a door, we close the door. We close the window. So it means the opposite of open. Open, closed. Clothes. This is what we wear. So our pants, our shirt, our jacket, all of those things are clothes. Coach. This is a person that helps you to learn something. For example, sports. Every type of sport has a coach if there's a team. For example, a basketball coach, a football coach. So it's someone who has knowledge that helps the team play better. Coal. This is a rock and it's black and hard. And you burn it with fire to make your house warm. Maybe you can also think of at Christmas, little children who are not good, they tell the little children they will get a piece of coal for Christmas. It's black. Coast. This is similar to beach. So it's where the water meets the land. So similar to beach. So Costa Rica has a lot of coast. So there's lots of water around the land. Coat. This is what we wear when we're cold. If we go outside in the rain, or if it's cold outside, we put on a coat. So it's very big and keeps us warm. Cold, that's a temperature. It's the opposite of hot. So hot, you're very hot. Cold, cold. Colt. This is a baby horse. That's what the baby is called. Like a dog, the baby is a puppy. A horse, the baby is called a colt. Comb. This is what we use for our hair. It's straight, and then it has little teeth that come out. So that is called a comb. And the action, I comb my hair. Crow. This is a bird, and it's black. It usually lives around where there is a farm. They like to be around there. So a blackbird, a crow. Don't. This is the combination of the word do and not. Do and not. Don't. So I don't do my homework. I don't like pizza. Dough. Dough is what bread is before you bake it. So when you make bread, you have a ball of dough and you have to form it. And then you put it in the oven and you get bread. So dough is before. Doze. This is when you're really tired and maybe you fall asleep just real quick. Doze, doze. So you're real tired. Drove. This is the past tense of the word drive. So I drive a car. Yesterday, I drove a car. Euro. This is what you call money in Europe. Euro, it's their type of money. Float. This is an action, and one definition is when you're able to go on top of the water. So here's the water, and you can float on top of the water. So you lie down and you don't sink or go under the water. You're on top. Flow. This describes water in a river or a stream. So the water flows down the river. So maybe goes fast, maybe it flows slow, but it describes the movement of the water. Fold. This is an action. Fold. For example, if you have a piece of paper, you fold the paper. You fold it closed. Or you can maybe fold your clothing when you put it away. I fold my shirt before I put it away. All. All describes everything. So I want to eat all the pizza, the whole thing, every piece. All. Ball. Ball is round, and we use it to play sports like a basketball, a football, a soccer ball. Blog. This is something you write. For example, on the internet, you can read a blog of many people. So someone writes about their life or a story or an experience, and they put it on the internet. Boss. This is the person that is overseeing all the workers. So if you have a business or a company, the boss is at the top, and then the workers are underneath. So the boss tells you what to do. Bought. This is the past tense of the word buy. So today, I like to buy pizza for dinner. We're talking a lot about pizza. Yesterday, I bought pizza for dinner. So it's when you use money for something in return. Broad. This describes the space. For example, a road. If you're driving on a road, the road can be narrow, or the road can be broad or wide. There's lots of space in the middle. That is broad. Brought. This is the past tense of the word bring. So it's when something comes to you. So can you bring me my coffee? Can you bring, so to me. The past tense of bring is brought. So yesterday, you brought me my coffee. So it's something away and then comes to me. Call. This is what we do with our phone. We make a phone call. Or I yell, I call. Hello. That's calling, to yell for somebody else to answer. Called is the past tense of call. So yesterday, I called my friend. Caught. This is the past tense of the word catch. So if you throw a ball, then you catch the ball. Also, if you go fishing, you catch a fish. So you send your pole and then you catch a fish. So yesterday, I caught a fish. Yesterday, I caught the ball. Claw. This describes the hand or the foot of an animal, and it has real sharp nails. So like a bear has claws, real sharp nails. Cloth. This is describing all types of fabric that we use to make clothing. It could be wool, cotton, Cloth describes everything we use to make our clothing or curtains or things around the house. It can also be a piece of material for something specific, like a cleaning cloth. We use it to clean our house. Cost. This is how much you have to pay when you buy something. How much money? So the question is, how much does the telephone cost? How much does the pair of shoes cost? So you're asking how much money you have to pay. Cough. That's cough. So it's an action, a verb. Coughed is the past tense of cough. Today I cough. Yesterday I coughed. Crawl. This is what babies do before they learn to walk. So they're on their hands and their knees. Crawl. Cross. This is, one definition is a verb when you go to the other side. I cross the street. So you go from one side of the street to the other side. I cross the street. Dawn. This is describing the time of day in the morning when the sun is coming up. That is called dawn in the morning. Dog. This is a pet we have at our house, a dog or a cat, and it goes bark, bark. Draw. This is a verb, an action. So we draw a picture. So that is draw. Fall. Fall is when you're standing, then you fall. Maybe you hurt your leg or you hurt yourself when you fall. So you're walking and then you fall. Fault. This describes who is responsible for something. So it's your fault. You are late for class. You're responsible. You should have been there on time. It's your fault. Or it's my fault if you don't speak English correctly. I am responsible as the teacher. Fog. This is what happens when there's lots of clouds in the air and we can't see when we're driving. That's called fog, when everything looks very white. Maybe after it rains or in the morning, there's lots of fog. Fought. This is the past tense of the word fight. So 2 boys fight at school. Yesterday, the 2 boys fought at school. So fight, fight. They don't get along. Frost. This is when it's very cold and there's ice all on top of the grass and the plants. It's white looking. That is called frost. Even maybe on a window, if it's cold outside, there's frost on the window. It's a little bit frozen. Golf. This is a sport. So you play golf where you put the ball in the hole. So it could be a noun or the verb. I like to watch golf. I want to go golfing, golf. That's the verb. All right, we made it to the end. Congratulations. I hope that helped you to understand some of this vocabulary. See you next time.